88.5 Surf FM is now 9 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m. in Surface St. Lucia, of course, the Eastern Caribbean. Good morning to all those of you in Radio Land. Not forgetting our online viewers as well. Good morning. It's another wonderful day to join us here in studio with house guests. And who else is with me than Tanzania Mathurin-Fedee, co-founder, managing director, TD Marketing and Sales Management. Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you and, of course, your panel. Join me here in studio. We have Mr. Almonte Regis. We have Learn Julian. Good morning, and thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Let me allow you to have your introduction.
Good morning, Cabrina. Thank you for having us this morning. We are delighted to be here, myself and my executive, and our corporate account manager, Lehan.
Mr. Regis, good morning to you as well. It's nice to see a male dominant among all the females. Respect and manners to that.
Thank you,
First and foremost, I would like to ask of you to not only introduce yourself, but tell persons about. We know you're from the community and you've given so much, but respective of that, tell us a little of who is Tansi.
Well, that's a very interesting question because I'm someone who's very private. So being put in the spotlight like that today is, well, for me on the downside, but I'm happy to share. Well, who I am, basically, I am the co-founder of T&D Marketing and Sales Management and a social enterprise for profit, Safi Tours Nature Hike and Campgrounds. We are positioned to have an impact on the lives of marginalized youth and at risk, where we upskill them in agriculture and tourism. And our goal is to build a center within the park that they're able to come in and have the training done. So not only would they be hands-on as beneficiaries, but also be able to apply it within the activities. So from the farming, within the farm to table side, as we go along in the development phase, they'll be able to grow and transition within various departments all the way up into management. So we have been working tirelessly. I must commend my team. They have been the backbone. I did have a few setbacks medically, but they've been my strength and support, including my family.
Nice. To you, Ms. Julian, given the fact that you have only just begun getting your feet wet, but as a young person actually stepping into this, because we know earlier on, if my mind serves me right, you did some training, customer service, as well as tour guiding. And as a young person, could you just share with us what has that journey been like for you, and what have you learned thus far?
All right, well, my journey thus far has been great. I have not encountered any challenges. I've been meeting new people, like joining different workshops, conferences with the people in the same industry as us, as in the marketing field. Yeah, thus far it has been a very encouraging walk. It has been tremendous, I should say. Getting to be on another level, to put yourself out there, be able to empower the young ladies so that they could see that they have an opportunity to, that, how would I put it? So that they could be out there to do their best with any journey that they would like to take part in, whether or not that you started at, per se, well, me, I started in F&B, food and beverage, right? And then I decided later down the line I could always have a backup plan, as in being in the office, reception or marketing in that field. And I got the opportunity to do that, and then I took a step forward, doing my courses, taking part in different, how would I say it, like, well, taking part in different courses, getting tutored by people like Tanzania, like my former boss right there. And yeah, just a bit of that, grasping that in a short time, but I was able to do it and put myself out there. Yeah.
Well said, and I think this serves as a testament to knowing who you are and how far you've become as well. And too often times young people tend to be too laid back and wait for everything to come to them. So I think it's a driving force, and you were testament to what exactly we see happening. And again, with Tanzania's efforts as well. I mean, she's a go-getter. Never tell her no, you cannot. For sure, she'll push the length and breadth to let it happen. No 2 days are the same. We know that for sure. I would love to know. In terms of the pandemic, we saw a lot of things that happened where persons were forced to work from home. This is where the IT will definitely come in play, where you do not have the physical contact. So how did that really work for you?
Well, I must say COVID-19 played out to be in our benefit, because part of our mission was to assist businesses who can't afford a full-time marketer. So at the time, we were 12 strong. We had youth from Dennery, Vieux Fort, Labrie, Castries, around the board who had the same mindset that we wanted to be change makers and be a driving force behind what T&D Marketing's mission was from the get-go. So we transitioned very well. We had the support from Digicel at the time, where they offered us a great corporate plan, I won't lie. And today we're with Flow. But at the time, I will say it was very helpful, and the business owners saw the benefit of having a team who was able to call out on their behalf. So where they were not able to go out, the team was dedicated to taking and making calls. And from there, they just started using other resources that we offered in terms of virtual assistants, among other things, other than managing their social media platforms and their SEO. So it turned out very well. There were many seminars and conferences where the organizers would have reached out and paid a contract to reach out to their guests. So around that time, it was very hard for them to really go out and maybe utilize other ads because money wasn't really coming in. But you saw a lot of empowerment for women coming up. So we partnered with them, and our team was able to successfully work with them along those lines to get their tickets out there and at least reach prominent persons to get it executed.
Definitely. What would you say worked in your favor during the pandemic?
Well, the ease of being at home, and that the fact that I'm a parent. So I had a newborn during COVID, and the struggle of me not being able to go out in the field, even while things were dying down. In the hotel industry, I was very active, so my presence was still needed. And I was also managing a franchise for a spa. So they needed me hands-on because they were tapping into the influencer marketing to get strategic marketing campaigns out there. So when they were set up to do pop-ups around the island to at least meet their clients, because you weren't able to do Castries Soufre as you pleased around that time. So with the spa, what we did was we made a partnership with persons in Castries and a place in Vieux Fort, and we were able to set up all these clients to come in on that one day, but it depends on the service. So if we knew that there were quick services, especially in the waxing and fields like that, would happen first, and everything else, including massages, these were out of the way, but they would have it on separate days. But when it came to things like they really needed it because they were private events, we would ensure that these customers knew that on that one day how. So we use live, we use influencers. We had celebrities like Zoe and Darren, Ezra and Davia came in. There were so many. I think we also had, she's in Vieux Fort with a baby store. I know she maybe is joining your live right now, but yes, so she as well. There were many people who came out and supported the mission and saw the importance of it, and seeing that during COVID, all of the stress of just being stuck at home with the children and there's nothing to do. So we pushed out the message that they needed to have some TLC and self-care and relaxation as the forefront to manage all the stresses of COVID. Yeah.
With that being said, permit me to ask you, do you think young entrepreneurs are being put in the spotlight? Do you think they will get in the accolades they deserve? And on that note, we saw you, among others, shine at the Youth Awards.
Well, what I would say is that it just depends on what you follow and what your beliefs are, because I measure my success on impact. For me, it's what did I do to make your life better? And that way you could tell a friend or somebody else, you know, Tanzi had given me the opportunity, and I never really withhold it. So sometimes I would come across an article or a scholarship, something to push me forward as a business owner. I would reach out to people, even strangers. I would stop them to tell them. And they would tell me, I've never seen this. And I would tell them it's just because of what you follow online. So if you have your feeds and your stuff in place, I can't say that the opportunities are not there. It is there, and I'm not telling them it was handed out to me. I literally go to search myself and I apply. And if there's like a no, or there's a process where I have to make maybe 10, 15, 20 calls, I would continue calling and keep knocking on the door until I get through. So I believe it has to be with your dedication and how bad you really want it, because I was always hearing people saying, oh, it's just people up north who get it. And I wanted to be somebody that could tell them, well, I'm from Soufrière and I got it. So I'm really proud to say that on Taiwanese ICDF, when we were mapping out our success stories as Angel Grant winners with SAFA under the Genes program, I was the only one from Soufrière there. So when the minister came in and everybody's talking about, wow, the north is colorful, they were like, Tanzi, she was watching the map to see who's there, and she's like, they're like, Soufrière has a star. Like for the entire south to east coast, like Soufrière had a star. And apart from that, we had more persons even from Sozel and Labrie. And I was just so happy that somebody was there that received the Angel Grant, and they were like, Tanzi, these stories are going up to Taipei and they're going to be putting you all over the news and the billboards, so you guys should be very excited for the exposure and you're doing a good thing. So I'm there to tell them that the opportunity does exist, and it's just how bad you want it. There are many scholarships and opportunities. There's no discrimination. You just have to go for it.
Definitely. Also, with your story, could you speak to us in terms of changing the trajectory? Because we've seen it all of the time with the stars being born in the north, and the little communities have been left behind. And I'm very happy you're sitting here as a Soufrierian to change the dynamics.
Well, what I would tell them is that it will be announced, but Startup Huddle St. Lucia will now be coordinated with T&D Marketing and Sales. So I will become the new coordinator. And we're proud to say that we're trying to bring in the majority of startups from the West and East Coast and the South Coast. Our goal is to have a balance and to be very inclusive. So we wouldn't want to make persons believe that because you're a baker, or maybe that this person's a cleaner and she has an idea, or maybe she doesn't have the accolades to have gone to college or anything, we want to reach out to them, especially the marginalized. They don't have to have the strength to build a business plan, but as long as they could explain or pitch somebody, this is where we want to get them. And I believe that we want to have a buddy system where we work hand in hand with them at Startup Huddle. So there will be a lot we'll be doing, and we're going to be reaching out to many different organizations and corporate houses to let them know of the mission, because we believe that you just never know where the brilliant idea comes from. So I don't want to limit them as we go forward. So we're going to be focusing a lot on inclusion and having a blend. So it doesn't just have to be that the startup is a youth. It can be women, a single mother, a father. It doesn't matter, a senior, and now is the time you have the idea. We will welcome you.
22 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m. in Surface St. Lucia, and of course the Eastern Caribbean. If you're just joining us, say good morning. Welcome inside to this discussion house guest. Let me just reach out to you online. We have Eudoxia Gangadin. That is a great way of being a wonderful person. Keep it up. We have Obedia Saltibus. Proud of you, Tanzi. Well done and all the best.
Thank you.
I don't want to leave you out. Mr. Armonte. Regis, kindly share with me your experience as well. And of course, a little about your business, how you started, and you end up being here with Tanzi on that team.
Okay, so as you said, my name is Armonte. I'm the Executive Admin Assistant with T&D Marketing. Marketing is, let's say, something that I grew into. I can market well, but my weak point would be selling. I can tell you everything about the product, but when it comes to telling you the price of the product, this is where I would shy away. So coming in here with Tanzi, she has developed the selling part of of that aspect. So that gives me every bit of understanding that I need to move forward. Yeah.
With marketing also comes, what can I say? In terms of, there were some difficult clients as well. What have you learned to be able to deal with such clients? Because you meet all sorts of persons as well.
The personality is key. If you share a good personality with the client, you approach them well, you speak to them well, you give them what they're looking for. Because before you approach a client, sometimes somebody already giving you a background of them. So you know this person is rowdy, this person talks a lot, this person has all the bad energy that you should think of. So they give you a heads up. Now you don't bear that in mind, you don't keep that in mind. You go with a different mindset. So when you reach, you see the person, you give a smile, you say, how are you doing today? Always diffuse the challenges. And that's how you diffuse the challenges. You always greet them, you give us a strong handshake. That will change everything. The handshake is everything. Once you shake that hand and give that smile, you're good to go. So you always have to clear out the challenges that you've heard about the client and come with a fresh new face for them. They love it.
Your manager taught you well, and if a lot of places can actually embrace, those little tips and guidelines, whatever you call it, I think
I wanted to add
it
something
would be
to what
greatly
Armonte was stating.
executed in workplaces and on a whole.
Well, for me, basically, what I basically would ensure for the team is that before we go out to any client, we do a lot of background research. So we wanted to know who they previously worked with and look at some of the details. So we ask around, and there's different groups we're part of with different marketers. So the information is easy. You would hear from others what the experience was like, and that's what Armonte was referring to. We never really take it into account in a sense that this is our final determination of the person, because I believe that with value propositions in business, you have your pains and your gains, and the customer expects you to come with solutions. Now, if you've already heard that there's a repetition of the same feedback from every other company they've worked with, then we take that into consideration before we do approach them. So I wouldn't come in and pitch you the same exact thing you just heard, because if the person's issue is beyond doing their conversions and it's beyond getting followers for them, that nothing's converting, what maybe is really the problem? You've looked at their insights, you've looked at everything else in the background, you've checked on their keywords, their AdWords, how they're performing in their search engines, where do they rank, if they're even being found. Because sometimes persons would tell you they have this really great business, and yes, they have a lot of customers, but when it slows down, when you really look at it, you're finding out that they're not being found. Because I don't know you by name, I'm a new customer, but how do I find you? So we really have to really break it down, and I always tell people that it's not like generic, but it's more tailored and customized. So to each customer we meet, their packages are different. Not every person actually requires full social media management. Some of them already have a team and they just need some guidance, or they need to actually learn how to use some of the tools. So depends on what they need. We are able to come in and just provide that bit that they need to go on to the next step. Sometimes it's just consultancy, and right away their team starts to have creative thinking. And an exercise we love is mindstorming, where we do allow them to bring in their experts in the room, and we throw out the best ideas on just how elaborate can you really get. So Armonte was able to just piece it together. And yes, thank you.
Nice. Without throwing you under the bus a little, in Sofre, let's look at the various businesses. And a lot of the times they do not collaborate in making the product or enhancing the product. They believe in competition. I mean, you, with your expertise, what do you foresee in terms of changing that, making it better for the love of Sofre?
Well, one thing I would stick to is the fact that we mentioned inclusion. So other businesses would have to then show them how their services are non-competing and could actually become complementary. Because in the marketing field, we had to understand that although we're able to properly manage your social media, and yes, we're doing SEO and everything, there are different department heads. So I do not head the web development department. That's under Miranda George Affer. And she came in with a partner company called Tektronites. So Miranda, if you're on the live, I'm here to tell them that yes, she would be the one who would break down everything SEO with you. Yes, I'm able to go in and get the keywords and do all of the copy and the copy editing, but she's the one who goes down in the back end with her IT major, ensuring that and engineering. So she does everything logistically in the background to ensure that that's executed. And I'm so happy that when we were going through the transition phase of the merger, it took us a while before we got to where we are 8 months later, but during that time, everything was on a standstill. And I just remembered, I'll tell you, it's Genesis 12:26, when the Bible speaks about Isaac planting the crops and allowing the weeds to grow along with the good fruit. And I just looked at it in the sense that in business, I've sowed the seed. So even if it's dormant and I wasn't hearing anything, God said he had many plans. So I took up employment, full-time employment, and I believe the stress and the weight of just everything sometimes could seem like it's too much, but diamonds are made under pressure. Eventually I had to make a choice, a personal choice, even when the merger was about to happen and not seeing the signs that it's going to be promising. It did work out in the end. And I'm thankful to everyone who was there along the journey that it happened.
I'm happy as well for these sentiments. Also, outline your work plan for 2024 and what do you envision jumping into next year?
Well, for us so far, we'll be launching soon, so we don't want to really spoil the surprise, but we are planning to get things on a global scale. The news will soon be releasing more information about it.
What better place than now? A tip of the iceberg.
Well, we'll be taking a new approach to how events are being handled and payment systems. So we want to offer a way that the tour operators could be able to definitely track and have good insights, because some of them want to expand and have their sustainability strategy, and they're not able to really pinpoint or show the banks nor taxis how operations are tracked, their cash flow system, especially on the finance side. So with the new technology of innovation with our cashless NFTs, they will be able to have a fully, I would say, cashless wireless system in the cloud that they could access from anywhere at any time in real time. So that's what's coming, and we plan to end the year strong with even more signaling more partnerships like this one.
Also, in terms of tea and tea marketing, have you had an official launch? I'm yet to see your persons who are not fully aware in terms of your logo and a lot of awareness in terms of socials and whatnot.
Well, when we started, we wanted to offer our clients exactly what we got into the business for. It wasn't for our fame. I told them, although we're in marketing, we were putting ourselves on the sideline, allowing our customers to go on the forefront. We've never branded anything except for in cases where we would be a sponsor. So we work closely with the NGOs, and even on some of these graphics, we never really want to go out there to be seen as if, before anything, you just want the recognition. So I was just happy to hear when persons say, she told me call you, and she's like, you don't want nobody to know it's you. So I'm like, yeah, because sometimes people run and they want to see an increase on their portfolio or their profiles online that they're doing something to help. And I really stood back and just ensured that the work was really done. So if these youth got the bags, the books, the tablets, and so much we've done with Narissa James in Miami, Florida, who sponsored so much during COVID to the schools, I was like, once they got the help, that's the impact, that's the success. I could see them happy. The school got uniforms, and then you have persons like Diane Felicia who's doing a great job with Donation Foundation. I've worked with her very closely, and I could tell you, and Sanyu James with WLT. So people like that who really show me that my impact is measured on them being able to execute the project and really getting the help. So I turn their messages into digital reality. And that goes the same for the clients who we've worked with who ask for privacy and secrecy. They pay for confidentiality. So we can't really at times post as we choose to because the level of the contract requires non-disclosure agreements being signed.
Okay. What do you see for the beautiful touristic town of Soufrière and your field of work?
Well, for me, I would approach the tourism sector with a different perspective because we were having a conversation last night as a team, and Armonte took one of the things I mentioned at the meeting with our New York partners that although Soufrière is a tourism product, it's alive at day and dead in the night. So we're going to approach the Vendors Association as well as the minister and the different youth councils to see how we can integrate something that could actually help enhance it and make it a hub that attracts more visitors, because I believe there's so much more to offer and this would create other avenues that other businesses could emerge from.
I think it's a great plan as well. The sooner you could execute it, even the better. I fully agree as well. There was a lot of talent there.
Yes.
And Armonte may sit in nicely with this one when it comes to the youth and having their various talent be exhibited. We have no avenues for that.
We have
And
avenues.
your previous contributions in various groups or clubs and whatnot, sadly, everything starts with a bang, and then after, I think the frustration, the lack of interest, and again, like I said, not having the proper structures or avenues. So sadly, you find a lot of the people with the talent, it just goes to waste, it fades away. What, with your designation, what would you like to see happen as a young person as well? What would you like to bring to life in the community?
We've had many discussions on different projects we want to put in place to bring out the talent in the youth. And as well, since it's a year for women and my partnership globally as the youth ambassador, we are striving to put in a lot of effort to exhibit the youth talent. So we're going to put down on pen and paper in detail on what are some of the projects that we are going to put together to exhibit those young people. One of those, at 3 a.m. During the week, I saw a project for empowering young ladies who can lead the charge. So this is one of the projects that we are going to be putting down in the coming months.
I'm going to throw you on the bus a little. We've had numerous of conversations, you and I, and even now I have a club, which is the PMA club, and we're trying to get our numbers up for. We've had our annual summer camps as well. All the children look forward to that immensely because of the various activities, and not just a fun part of it, but actually getting to know what your community is offering. But then that is not all. We need to get them in terms of academically as well, to get them to that place, because what we see happening in terms of the classrooms, the children are demotivated. So I don't know if it's the structure of how things are coming across to them, but then when you ask a child, but how was your day? How was school? Miss, I hate school. Eh?
Yes.
And that's not what you want to hear from a young person. You need to know that you can reap the benefits of your rewards for sure. So it needs to be exciting. And with that being said, I would love to have persons like you guys come on board to present various maybe little workshops for them to actually get them enriched, get them inclined in where we're looking to go.
Definitely. And most of these workshops, they have so many different opportunities. They take you all over the world. I'm being one of the examples. I just came back from Switzerland.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
When I represented the global shippers community as the ambassador. So these clubs, these organizations, they take you far and wide. I will be going to Phoenix, Arizona in November to represent the country as well. So I'm urging young people to go into these organizations, join these clubs. They do have benefits, and I would bring her name here. If it wasn't for Miss Simon, who used to get me involved in those groups and in all those activities, I guess I wouldn't be where I am today. So I thank her for this, and I want to urge young people, especially young women and young men, to join the organizations, take the advantage, and stay in school. Stay in school. It's always good to stay in school. I understand that they would say you don't always need school to move forward. I know people who are millionaires and they did not go to school, but when they become millionaires, they always go back and do some courses to kind of sharpen their brains. So school is also important.
Just taking a pause from that, we have Gina Harrell. Wow, very interesting. I must say, interesting indeed. I agree with your sentiments as well. Just share with us a little in terms of what that experience was for you in Geneva, and what have you actually demonstrated in the community. A little change.
Geneva, Switzerland, it was an experience worth having. I had to go through London and then a connecting flight to Geneva both ways. I got lost on my way back. I had to take a train through the airport that I was not aware of. But apart from that, the workshops were very exciting. You get, I was at one of those workshops where the war between Afghanistan and the other countries, and the tears were rolling when you hear people saying that when you leave your house, you are not sure if you're going to make it back home. So some of these things get you really emotional. So this was one of the experiences that got me thinking, because of the rising crime level in our country. We need to try our best to subside these numbers. It is very scary, especially since we are a tourism product. We benefit directly from tourism. We are the mecca of tourism. So we need to lower on these numbers. As well, in Geneva, I learned a lot of organization building, workshop planning, project proposal, so many aspects in bringing the organizations forward. And we have some plans coming on, because I'm the curator for the Castries Hub, that's how they say it, St. Lucia. And we're going to use most of what I've learned in Geneva and what I'm going to learn in Phoenix, Arizona, to put in a lot of programs through the different clubs that are in Soufrière and around the country, as well through T&D marketing, which is my where my heart lies. Thank you, Tanzi, for that. So yes, we are going to be pushing a lot of programs, both through Global Shippers and through T&D marketing. So look out for us. We will come in.
And with that, I would like to extend, let's have a partnership as well, so for FM and the House Guest program, so it can be filtered into the community as well.
Definitely.
A lot of the times, persons are not, in terms of where IT is concerned, a lot of us are not too familiar, so we still need to break it down for persons to have like the Creole aspect of that, so it reaches,
Yes. Yes, and I see that the government has placed the Creole education part of it into schools. When I saw this the morning, I was very elated. In the curriculum, I was very elated. So now our students can learn how to speak. I was having a conversation with someone, and they were saying we should not keep it only.
Okay, well, try a little bit of Creole. Tell us that in Creole.
Let's hope that my Creole is good.
I think Luhan's the expert.
Je vais remercier le gouvernement pour mettre créole à l'école nous. Ça a mené jeunesse loin, because moi les vieux bon monde avec les monde pour parler bon monde, moi c'est pas les bon monde. So I think that's it. It's rough.
Well, this
Yes.
clearly shows the need for Creole in our curriculum, because we were not raised being taught Creole in the house. I could tell you guys, Creole was the language for the parents to converse. So today, hearing that it's going to be the part and parcel of our curriculum, it means that our children and the generation to come will be able to converse clearer than us, because let me tell you, I do stumble on a lot of words.
Yeah.
Or it would come out as broken English, because sometimes you'd hear somebody say they're surprised and they're like, saute moi saute. If I convert that into English, it's jump I jump. So could you imagine? We do see the need.
Yes.
And us as parents might even learn a thing or two as well, and in the corporate sector.
Definitely. I fully agree. We're charged with time, 15 minutes moving upward to the hour of 11 a.m. in Surface and Lucia, and of course the Eastern Caribbean. Something else that flashed me as I looked on the desk, have you had any contributions or in terms of the Zeno? What's your sentiments with what is happening there? They were looking to develop the trail, the Zeno Dewas Trail. Have you reached out in terms of the marketing and even visiting, that beautiful trail?
So I'm happy this question came up, because I'm sending my sincere congratulations to the Force Jacques community group, and I believe Zeno would fall under the umbrella. So we're happy to say and pleased to announce that T&D Marketing and Sales is partnered with and is for the mission of the Force Jacques Community Project and Agritourism Park. We will be at the Dashing Festival as well, so please come out and support in large numbers. The community needs the support, and as well as the Zeno Nature Trail, we will be setting up a meeting. We do have Lehan, who's a part of the community board, so I'm very happy and pleased to say that we will be visiting them at some point. And as well, just reiterating that the Dashing Festival is coming up in September, so look out for posts and updates on Facebook, and I believe SRDF and you guys should be having some detail out about it as well to support. It's a community initiative, and this is what the farmers, the agricultural side of the township, they're coming out in large numbers to showcase how versatile the product can be used, from dashing pie and cakes and you name it, ice cream, cheesecake. It's going to be up there for showcase and to buy. So come with a pocket load and to have a lot of fun from, I think it's from 5 a.m., right?
5 a.m.
On the 28th, 27th?
28th.
Correct.
So again, we're encouraging persons who are not, or maybe hearing it for the first time, that Dashing Festival is coming up soon. This is going to take place in the beautiful community of Fort Saint-Jacques. So tell a friend, bring a friend, get your families, and make it an outing. You do not want to miss that. It's not just entertainment, but education-based as well. At this time, I would love my panel to share in on whatever discussions they may have left out, what they would like to touch on. And everybody's having the discussions, but nobody's reaching out to those who empower them. I would like to reach out to whoever empowered you all in terms of the family, different corporations, and that's your moment to shine as well.
Well, I would like to say another special thank you to my family, especially my parents and my in-laws. They're a very big support on this journey for me, especially my husband, who's been at my side through thick and thin. Even when it's beyond him, he would come up with a solution that surely would work. And we thank him for that. The team thanks him too. We also have some key persons in the corporate sector, like Arifa Ogis, Cool Breeze Jeep and Car Rental, one of our good clients. We have Nick Frank, and we have the Justice Jungle Experience, Superman Falls. So we have a lot of great people behind us. Safi Tours, Nature Icon Campgrounds, and I will also like to thank the managing staff at Ascension, because they were very instrumental in my growth. I still have KM2 Solutions and Flow St. Lucia, Placid Noel, and Alison Sonny Esnat. So if they're listening, a lot of these people, Paul Joseph, Charlene, Francois, Andrea Fauché, a lot of people who've been along this journey with us. And today I'm really proud to tell them that I received the award for the most outstanding youth in social development, because it didn't go unnoticed. And the students who have passed through the vocational courses and those who've gotten the grants today, they've reached out already and shared their sentiments, who said they cried at me receiving the award because they were very emotional, knowing like, Miss, we want you to be recognized. And I'm like, no, you getting the grant is my recognition. That's it.
And even on that note, in terms of the MSMEs, we saw the government did roll out that initiative, and how has it been received? I'm thinking, hearing for the grapevines, a lot of persons have not yet received, that much needed grant of funds.
Well, with the grants and the MSME loans, there's protocols and checklists required. I would say the best advice is that if there are certain areas that you need support in, it's always good to reach out and ask. We don't withhold the information and we don't withhold the support. So you guys are able to reach out to us direct. I know there are many persons who already follow us, and if you do not, you could go on to Facebook or Instagram, send us a message, and we'll be glad to speak with you. We also have our youth side where we empower and we uplift youth, especially young girls and boys. So parents, whoever, our business persons, young entrepreneurs, as you guys have heard, Startup Huddle will be launching. So we would like you to reach out and just let us know if you have interest, because this is where we'll be discussing and changing the dynamics of how things are. So let's make those changes in our community together and inspire each other.
When you said it was launching again?
It's launching on the last day of September virtually.
Okay.
So the ads are going to be out everywhere, and I encourage all youth entrepreneurs and business owners who are in the idea phase, startup phase, or in the early phase, because we're going to be taking you from the idea into implementation and offering you guidance and support. So apart from just the logistics of a business plan and the operations, we want to at least structure things with the financial side on how to get those resources and strategic partnerships with investors, angel grants, fellowships, and whatever we can.
With that being said, let's not make it a one-time thing, but I'm challenging you with your team to put together, if it's just a program, maybe on a fortnight basis, just come in and let people know about the happenings of T&D marketing.
Noted. We'll surely do that. We'll take it into consideration.
We have Gatson and Thompson. Big up you all. Again, all the love coming in because of the hard work, the dedication, and the future looks promising. Tanzi, Mr. Regis, Ms. Julian, congratulations to you all. It's a strong team. I personally know Tanzi, and you all are in good hands.
Before we close, I want to thank you so much for having us. It is a pleasure to be here with you, with all your energy, all your vibe, all your questions. You never cease to ask all those brilliant questions, and we thank you for.
That's
That's
right.
why we know that, and we thank you so much, so much for giving us the spotlight. And I want to shout out my mother. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday, mother! I love you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday coming from us. Happy birthday to. That's not how it's done, Marty.
And guys,
Sing happy birthday to the
before we
queen.
do that, they always say to give people their flowers, so I do want to just thank one set of persons that could not go overlooked. ICDF Taiwan Technical Mission. The team has been backing almost every youth initiative in St. Lucia. I could tell you guys, like, I have so many shirts, and everything you would see in an organization is the Taiwanese ICDF. So Miss Lyra Celestine, today I'm here to tell the world that you are very instrumental in what you do. You are mother to many, and we appreciate you. Royston Emmanuel and Tracy at SAFA, the team, you guys are phenomenal. There are many scholarships right now open to help youth and financial aid. So I'm telling the parents who have children who want to go to college and they can't afford it, SAFA has many programs, and you could also reach out to the Taiwanese ICDF. They will guide you. And Miss Celestine has been a help to many. Out of all the students I've interacted with and lectured, Miss Celestine has been a mother to maybe each and every one of us, and even in a capacity where she has to go beyond mothership, being our right and left arms and carrying us through many of these processes. So she has been great. And Brent and Dorita at SAFA and Epi a lot of these teachers who come together under the mission that they're there to foster impact in people's lives. I'm here to tell you guys there are a network of people out there, so don't limit yourself to the information. It's online. And at times, help could seem like pressure because we're so young, we're naive, you know, the facade, it blinds us from the help, and we're feeling like the adults want to adult us, and we're feeling we're parents too. But I'm here to tell you, at times, don't let your cup feel like it's too full to take in the information, and sometimes you have to humble even more, because when you stumble is where you're really going to see who's there for you, and sometimes you look around and all these familiar faces are gone. So remember to cherish people. People are not replaceable, and it's your character that would drive your relationships and leave a lasting impact wherever you go. We're all human. That's what I'll end with.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes, to your mom. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Well, thank you again for having us, Cabrina.
Last word from you. You're all in smiles.
All right, I just want to encourage all the young women out there, since we are underneath the year of women. I would like to encourage all the mothers, young women out there, that you're never too old to learn, and life never stops teaching. So if there's any opportunities out there that you get to do, you go into it, you go for it. And like I say, you're never too old to learn. So keep that in mind as a backup plan. You could always have a backup plan moving forward. So have a great day, and have a great day to all the young mothers and women out there.
On that note, I would love to challenge you to leave us with the quote of the day, something to motivate us. What motivates you? What's your quote?
Well, I'd say faith is the ability to see the impossible, and trust the unknown.
I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Yes, Tansy, what's yours?
What's yours?
For me, I would say walk by faith and not by sight today.
Be the change, make the change.
You got that from Geneva? And at this time, this is where we say goodbye, au revoir, tata to you. As always, it's a great pleasure sitting here giving you company inside of House Guest today, Wednesday, the 11th day of September 2024. Before we leave, we have Lizanne Mon. Kudos to you, Tanzania, and Mathurin-Fedee, Almonte Regis. Applaud. And Lohan as well. Kudos to you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.